I didn't need to get into it. I was going to say I wish I could process cream cheese, but I can't. But I stay having it. You know what I mean?
Did you have it today?
Yeah, of course I had a bagel. And also, this is another thing that I realized because this past weekend I had a focaccia. And like we're like losing sight of focaccias because normally like a focaccia would just be like a little bit of oil and like maybe some like rosemary sprig. Now they're just pizzas and like we're just pretending like they're not. And I had a focaccia this weekend that had broccolini, ricotta, parmesan, and it was thick and warm. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath talking about it. It was delicious, but then the entire time I was like, I just had a pizza and I pretended it was like a pick me up. But you have to think there's so many air bubbles in that's like spongy. So
it's like eating air. It's like eating celery. It's like how celery is like 99% water.
Yeah,
it's
you're
like,
right.
In a way, focaccia is like
99%
water.
Focaccia is the celery of breads.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you put it
that
way.
Yeah. Would you consider a cupcake bread? Is cake bread? What's the difference?
I guess it's like the gluten in it. If I can only assume, like maybe it's like it's the yeast. There's no yeast in cupcakes.
Oh, tea.
So like that's what makes.
So what about a pumpkin loaf? Is that the same thing? Is there yeast in pumpkin loaf? I don't think so.
No, and people are calling that pumpkin bread.
Pumpkin bread.
So this is where I'm not fully educated on the breads. You take one look at me and you say he knows his breads. He's breaducated.
He's used to getting bread.
Well, I wouldn't go so far to say that.
Getting that money?
Yeah, I definitely am getting that money.
And
I would say
getting fucked?
Well, I would say there's
like
always
financially fucked?
Yeah, financially fucked. I'm definitely getting bread by the government.
Yeah.
That is for certain. But yeah, I don't really know much about the actual breads itself, but we could do a whole episode on bread.
I'm sure we could. I'm sure we could.
And just let us know if that's something that is of interest to you.
Everyone always reflects on ranking cereal and ranking fruit some of the best in our game, and that just really goes to show you we don't even need to be here. You could just open a BuzzFeed listicle from 2011 and get the same exact experience.
And then like we'll talk about like trauma like, of childhood or whatever. No one cares. And it's like, okay, let's hear you talk about Cinnamon Toast Crunch one more time.
Yeah, right.
Well, because I mean it is fun when you.
I've been eating my Raisin Bran and shit like that.
What is that about? Because
it's filling.
Yeah,
it's good for you. It's nutritious.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. It's an easy breakfast.
It just feels like you're aging up.
Well, I am. I'm nearing 30. And then let me tell you, I am very aware of that. I'm very aware of nearing 30. I don't think that getting nearing 30 is remotely old.
No.
Like, I was with someone recently who is our age and just kept lamenting on the fact that she's aging and she's getting older. And it was like really it was darking me out because I was like, you're kind of young, girl. Like, I get it. Like, I get like comparatively, compared to a baby, compared to a newborn, we're old. But like compared to like people who are in the same exact career, you're still young. Like, enjoy your youth. But anyway, I'm feeling about 48.
Yeah, 48 makes sense. And you think 48?
A good 48.
Dude, 40. I feel like you probably then would have like another 35 years plus.
Thank you for that.
Because like I can see a long, long life for you. Like I see that.
I don't drink water. I haven't gone to the doctor in years. Yeah. I occasionally will hit a vape.
Yeah.
I forgot to exercise
you definitely
for the past
rest.
couple of months. I get a lot of rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the mind is active. And honestly, that's what matters.
That literally
keeping the mind active really helps. And I keep this mind going.
Yeah. I keep the focaccias going.
Yeah.
At least like that's, you know what? And I'm sure there'll be a study that comes out that says like eating breads like will sustain your life. I think that's true.
Right. Yeah. And I think that study actually already came out. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Like, it's exactly what it said too.
I personally eat like I'm prepping for a marathon or like.
In many ways you are.
Well, it's basically like
mentally.
If I think exactly when I think about it, like since I used to be on the swim team and when I was in high school and there used to be pasta dinners before the meets, like I do think I just have always kept that in me. It's like I always am having like a team pasta dinner, but that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at currently. So yeah, back to the original.
Well, I just want to talk about focaccia again for a second.
Yeah, please.
Because it reminds me of a subject near and dear to my heart. Breaks my heart when I think about it, honestly. And that is the city of Pompeii. Because I just feel like they were eating focaccia then. You know what I mean?
They were. Oh my God, Joe! You just gave me full body chills because I'm thinking about like their stone ovens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
I know.
They were putting that shit in like a clay pan.
Yeah,
and
firing up that oven,
and they were pressing down that dough.
Yeah,
with like the flakiest of sea salts.
Yeah,
and then like I'm gonna start sobbing because you know there was a focaccia in the oven, and they were like, "Fuck, Mount Vesuvius." And then, like, it was done for. Like, that focaccia was, like, lamented. That focaccia was, like, it was done. Is that the word?
It was lamented?
Is that, I guess that's not the word. But
I don't know, but now you almost have me tricked. I'm like, maybe it is the word.
Maybe I was
lamenting is like, you know, it's like you're like reflecting on something.
So no, I'm like almost thinking laminated.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
sure, but a different word.
But different because it's like when
fossilized like that area. Is that what you're thinking?
But I do think that if I could talk to a few people at the dictionary, lamenting just felt right. It rolled off the
I
tongue.
actually believed you, but then I just thought about the word lamented, and I was like, I don't think that that's right.
No,
but
and I don't
believe
know
you.
It's right.
Right. Yeah, and that's fine, and that's called being a human being.
Yeah, I completely agree. But I back to Pompeii.
It makes me so sad to think about it, and I have just been thinking a lot lately about how the passage of time,
because we're getting older.
Well, yes, but also no, even in a different way, how brief and quick we are here on this planet, and how just like that, this will be the distant past. We'll be Pompeii. You know what I mean? And that really kind of makes me think, you guys. I mean, I spent some time at a few museums lately. I've been reading my historical texts. I've just been really grappling with how not dissimilar we are from those citizens of Pompeii.
Yeah.
How alike our wants, how identical our wants and our needs were. You know what I mean? And how much time.
Do you think there was
time can feel like such a great barrier between generations and civilizations, but in reality, we all just wanted the same thing. We all just want peace and love and food. And then there is some bitch, be it a volcano or political oligarchy that is standing in the way of that. And both of those things happen.
I actually can't even believe. Sometimes no, that's so horrible. Like, I can't even believe what I was about to say. Like, sometimes I was gonna say sometimes I wish I was in Pompeii, but we both have been to Pompeii, and I'll tell you, I had a lot more similarities than I thought I was gonna have with the people of Pompeii.
Oh, yes.
They were topping out about 4'8".
Oh yeah, they were shorter.
They were coming in at 4'8".
Yes,
and they were looking like they were coming in at 4'8", but they could lift about 500 pounds.
What are you talking about?
They were short and thick. That's just the clay figurines I saw.
They weren't clay. Those aren't clay figurines. Those are literally their bodies.
Yes, correct.
They're
lamented
their corpses. They're their lamented bodies. It is the ash, soot, heat combining to solidify a body. And that's what you're seeing in Pompeii.
It was. I mean, talk about. You weren't smiling. I wasn't smiling.
No,
I was.
But at the same time, I can't help but laugh. I can't help but laugh when I look around at Pompeii and I see the sex drawings on the wall, the threesomes, and then I see the pizzerias, and I see the old frames of where big houses were, and seeing all these towns. I'm like, this is just us. Like, this is us.
Yeah.
NBC's This Is Us.
This is us.
Starring Mandy fucking Moore. Like, that's us. Like, that is us. It's so crazy to me.
Good children.
Ooh. It's not even that theme song anymore.
Theme song sucks.
I kind of liked it.
You liked it?
It's different.
It's different. I wouldn't say that it's as catchy.
Right, but also we've only heard it one time.
There's
Give it a couple weeks.
There's gonna be a remix to it that's hitting TikTok.
Yeah. Give it a couple weeks.
Correct.
Give it a couple weeks. But I'm honestly impressed with them for changing it.
Honestly, good for them. They were like, you know what? We had something that worked, but we're gonna
try something
do
else.
a 180, and we're gonna try something different and see if it also sticks.
And that's classy. That's classy to me.
That's being original, and that's being a risk taker.
Because they knew people were gonna be upset. They knew people, because people just are so abject to change.
But you want people to be upset, because if people aren't
Chatter.
upset, how are you gonna be successful? How are you gonna get people talking?
Right. You need the people to talk. So now everyone's tweeting White Lotus theme song changed. It's like, oh my God, new episode of White Lotus out. New season of White Lotus came out.
It's like,
oh my God, Mike White.
Mike White, you are you so
nasty
smart.
Freak.
Mike, we have a seat for you. Oh boy, do we have a seat for you.
We have a couple seats for Mike White.
And I don't know what that means. I can only assume.
If it means being cast.
Oh my God. Mike, this is to Mike White. Mike, if you cast either, like, truly, if you give us the opportunity to audition, we will literally come through. And I'm thinking, could be Amazing Joe, something about Pompeii. There can be something there. Like, we can go to Italy next.
That already happened.
Oh yeah, Italy.
You know what?
Happened.
He's not really a fan of the work.
No, I am a fan of the work, but
like,
there's come like where would you want to go? Where do you want to go? I would do anything.
I'm not making
anything.
the requests. I'm not booking it. This isn't bookingfucking.com.
Mike, look me in the
We're
eyes.
not Melissa
I would
McCarthy.
do anything.
We're not Melissa McCarthy.
You can kill me dead first episode. I could be floating in that water. First episode.
I just think we would make amazing additions to that cast one day.
I agree. I really, really agree.
It'd be
Joe.
so fun if we played like just a bitchy on the brink of absolute divorce, horrible gay couple.
Yeah.
With 3 children. Like in like 10 years.
They can't, and you know what? They can't script it because it would just be so nasty.
We would channel something
each other.
very real. Something very real would come out at the White Lotus.
It would be crazy.
But I think it'd be it'd be like really good to see that.
Yeah.
We need to see that.
We need to see that form of representation.
I guess it's like Ryan Murphy does it once a week, but
Yeah.
Mike White, it's your turn.
Yeah.
And you already have gay incest, so it seems like you're heading that route.
This kind of feels like the Mike White challenge, because like I feel like, you know, Mike White, we challenge you to
dump a bucket of ice water on your head or cast us in season 4 of the White Lotus.
So the choice is literally yours.
And if you dump the bucket of ice water, you have to nominate 4 showrunners to do the same thing. So it's either they dump a bucket of ice water or they cast us in the next season of their TV show.
Yeah.
Lena Dunham. Issa Rae.
Are these the showrunners for?
These are the
White
showrunners.
Lotus?
No,
or just in general?
Just other showrunners who I want Mike White to nominate. That's the end of my list right now. Oh,
Jeremy O'Harris.
Sure. Rachel Sennett. And let's just throw it at Sabrina Breyer. She has a show.
Sabrina Breyer.
You know who else is making a TV show?
Who?
Alana Glazer. We nominate all of you to dump a bucket of water on your head or cast us in your next show. It's that easy. And if you dump the bucket of water, I want it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't...
No, I need that on
If
Instagram.
you don't cast us, you have to challenge 4 other showrunners. All 7 of you. All 6 of you.
And we're going to... And it's really going to show like how many showrunners there really are.
Yeah.
Let's show you running. Okay.
I don't even know if some of those people are running shows right now, but they're gonna have to.
But they could be dumping buckets.
Potential showrunners and potential and rising stars.
And rising stars.
Let's just give it to all of them.
And rising stars is so correct.
So hey guys, I'm Joe Hegyes.
And I'm Andrew Muscarella.
And this is Good Children.
We spent the past 24 years growing together.
And now it's time for us to grow up.
Oh, wow. You're wondering, where the hell are we going with this? And I couldn't even tell you, because we went from focaccia to Pompeii to being cast in actually
anything. And
everything. It's scary, because I really think that we just manifested that we are about to be cast in 15 different TV
It's going to be a busy year for us.
It's going to be really busy. Yeah. So... Because I know that there are a lot of directors, there are a lot of showrunners, to your point, and
who are watching the podcast.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's incessant, and they probably just didn't know we wanted to. Like all you have to do is just ask. Sometimes all you have to do is ask.
Because, like, I mean, at the beginning when we were talking about like Tony's Chocolate Lonely or different things like Virgin Voyages,
Virgin Voyages, Bread. Remember that one?
I remember that one, but I hope they remember us.
They are still liking and commenting on my TikTok.
Okay,
so.
That's actually all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. But yeah, sometimes all you have to do, and this is a good lesson for everybody, like all you need to do is say what you want, and you can put it out in the universe, and sometimes it happens.
But you got to put action behind it. And so we're going to show up to Mike White's house.
Yeah, we are. And you know what? If we are on the front cover of some, who would write the article about
the
that?
Daily Mail.
The Daily Mail. I would honestly go so far to say Pop Crave would tweet it.
What would they say?
They would say like
anonymous podcasters.
Anonymous 2 gays with a podcast show up to Mike White's demanding to be in the next season of White Lotus.
Yeah.
They would make waves.
And then what would be even gaggier is season 4 comes out, we're in it. You know what I mean?
You're right, because people are like following the story.
Yeah.
Well, so, today's episode is going to be about wellness.
It's going to be about wellness. And listen, what a controversial subject for something that should be so simple and easy. And I know what you're thinking.
We just talked about fitness, and I want to let you know, just because we talked about fitness does not mean that well. And we're not, I do think maybe to a listener, they would be like, whoa, they're transitioning.
Well,
actually, hold on. Let me rephrase that. They are, the podcast is evolving into like a mindfulness, wellness, holistic experience
360
podcast.
experience.
A 360 experience. No,
because one thing about us, we are not mindful and we are not well.
No, no, we are very much not well.
We are unwell.
And you guys, imagine this conversation was just leading up to the fact that we just signed with Alex Cooper, and we didn't.
Oh, Jesus.
And we didn't.
No. So yeah, I think that the difference between fitness and wellness, for me at least, is like wellness. I guess wellness would encapsulate fitness in some ways,
for sure.
However, I think wellness encapsulates a lot of other things.
Yeah.
And what I want to talk about when it comes to wellness is the tricks, the treats, the goops, the gags, and the gooning that comes along with wellness. I don't say
the placebos.
Yes. One thing about you are Mr. Placebo himself. You will take a pill for anything. Anything.
I will take a pill for anything. Yes. So right. And if it's in gummy form,
even better.
You bet your fucking ass I'm chewing 2 of those a day, and I'm finding for a week. That's it. Because I probably clear them in that amount of time. But if I got multiple different like remedies, let's say it's like the Lemmy de-bloats, I'm popping 2 in at a time. I'm getting 2 gummies of something else. At that point, I should just be getting Sour Patch Kids. You know what I mean?
At that point, it's like just like eat a zucchini. I think that's usually how it comes down for me. But I mean, so how do they prey on you with those things? So let's talk about, because recently you ordered a Lemmy order. A Lemmy order came to the home.
Yeah, a Lemmy order came to the home, and no, it wasn't sent. It wasn't PR at all.
And I had to assume it was.
Yeah, no, because I've seen a lot of people be like getting Lemmy orders lately, but that didn't stop me. Like I saw people posting about it, and I was
you were influenced.
I was influenced, and like that's totally fine. What got me there was like, you want to talk mindfulness? This mind is full. This mind is full.
Yes.
And thatness is, I don't know, that's taking over. But I will be like in my bed scrolling, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bloated. Next thing you know, there's an ad for Lemmy de-bloat. And I'm like, wait, hold on. And then I read the reviews, and there could be like 99 reviews that they got people to write. And I'm like, whoa, I'm getting the Lemmy de-bloats. But that sucks because I'm not getting free shipping. So like I have to add another thing. Let me de-stress. I'm a stressed person.
Girl,
now I'm
let me stop.
If I had a gummy for a let me stop. Oh, I would have taken it.
Let me kill myself.
Let me go.
Let me relax. That's what I'm sure.
Yeah. That? Yeah. Let me relax. No, I have let me de-stress. I have let me de-bloat. I'm not even gonna say the third.
Yeah. And now we all know. Well,
it's not let me lose weight. It's not let me lose.
It's
not let me lose. It's let me burn.
Yeah.
Anytime I order, and this is probably, would you say tri-weekly? Is that a
yes?
Way to
I would say tri-weekly.
Tri-weekly, I'm ordering a different burning capsule, and that's like, Yeah, you want to talk mindfulness, but have you ever like what's like when you're scrolling and you see these different
Well, I don't scroll.
You don't scroll, but like
when I used to.
When you used to, were you getting caught by these companies?
I think I fell victim to Gwyneth Paltrow, just like that poor man who was on that ski slope did that time when she hit him. You don't remember that?
Oh, is this like? Should I remember that?
It was like a big pop cultural moment. I think that she ran into somebody on a ski slope and then he sued her, but it was kind of like he just knew it was Goop and wanted to like kind of come for her.
Yeah.
And she won the court case.
Of course.
But I'm pretty sure Kat Cohen is producing an off-Broadway show about it that's running right now.
You're kidding me. This is something I'm just finding
Kat
out.
Cohen, you're officially being nominated for the Ice Bucket Challenge in sponsorship of me and Andrew's acting careers.
So if you're looking for some skiers, if I'm willing to get hit.
I'm willing to play Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, and I'm willing to get hit.
Oh, perfect.
I'm willing to sue.
Perfect. Yeah, I know you are. I know you are. So,
I would like to see her on a ski slope. That's all I'll say.
Gwyneth?
Yeah. Because I would win that court case. She would be gooped and gagged.
Speaking of being gooped and gagged, I feel like I don't know. I was so lost in my early 20s and so directionless and so purposeless that I don't know what or who. Maybe it was honestly, this is like name drop week, but I think maybe Laura Shane Halls was definitely talking about Goop on like Babe back in the day when I used to listen to Babe. And I can't imagine who else would have influenced me into that space. Maybe Caroline Dunn. Perhaps Correct. Caroline. I think Caroline and I were on similar Goop journeys at like 22.
Yeah.
So I would go to the Goop store. Like maybe it was Soho area adjacent, and I was buying Goop Glow, which was a powder. Goop Glow.
And can you please just elaborate? Like, what was it gonna do for you? Like glow? You're gonna
honestly,
glow?
Emma Roberts also may have been an influence because she's the reason I used to buy Moon Dust. Whatever that is. Is that called? What is?
From Moon Juice.
Moon Juice, yeah, Moon Juice. I used to buy all the dusts from Moon Juice because of Emma Roberts. But yeah, also let's look at the people who I was trying to emulate: Emma Roberts and Gwyneth Paltrow. So,
but I will say, Joe, you kind of almost got there.
Well, now I'm blonde, so I'm a part of the club.
And I would say like you're like just like them. You're like snatched just like them.
Yeah. Oh, but Emma's has red hair right now. Good for her. I love
it's
I love
only a
when
matter
someone
of 3
dyes
weeks,
their hair
Joe.
red. I love when anyone dyes their hair red. One of my favorite activities a person could do. Yeah, so see me soon.
Red in March.
Yeah. Anyway, Goop Glow is supposed to make your skin better from the inside out. I think it was like orange vitamin D shit that you would drink. Like I put it in a Poland spring water bottle. I would do all that shit, all that stupid shit. And listen, I don't doubt that those things have benefits, but I think probably in order to see those benefits, you need to like use them in conjunction with a really healthy lifestyle. Correct. And probably like facials and serums and eating organic and which we'll get to. Clean eats and putting quotation marks around that because there's a lot of scams out there, you guys.
A lot of scams. Well, I speaking of scams, and I'm not calling any of these companies scams at all. And power to the reviewers because I fall victim to reading a review and getting anything that people say is good. That's my problem. But I would like to go. I would like to be with the scientists because I can only assume they are scientists. I would like to be in the lab. And I would like to talk to them when they are creating this glow powder. To be like, so what makes you glow from the inside out? Like,
well, they're going to tell you, they'll have answers for you. It's going to be like, well, this vitamin D is really essential for your skin's like cell regeneration, and this thing is really good for this. Like, there's definitely it's like pseudoscience, but like a capital S in science. Like, there's like, I think there's reason and rhyme behind a lot of these things. Yeah. But at the same time, again, we are all convinced that like a Lemmy D bloat is the answer, when in reality it's like, what's causing you to bloat? You know what I mean? Like, let's cut the focaccia.
Let's cut out the focaccia that you shouldn't be having at 9:30
And it's like,
a.m.
I don't necessarily
with
think
broccolini.
that 9:30 a.m. You said?
Yeah.
This morning?
No, I had a bagel this morning. I'm saying this past weekend.
A focaccia at 9:30 in the morning?
With ricotta and broccolini.
At 9:30? Isn't that like I thought that was like you went out to dinner and split that with a couple people.
No, because it was at a coffee shop. And the thing is, it's like when you have breakfast options and the option is a focaccia with broccolini and ricotta cheese, you're going to get that because you're going to say that's breakfast.
Right.
So it's like.
As long as someone tells you it is. Yeah.
Exactly. Any place, and this goes for any cafe, it's like you could serve me a steak sandwich and put it out at 9:30. But if it's out at 9:30, I immediately say that's breakfast.
Well, that's steak and eggs.
That's
Mama, that's steak and eggs.
Mama, that's steak and eggs. You're so right. Wait, I was going to say something. Oh, yeah. Well, when it comes to all of these different things that they're telling you is going to be good for you, it's kind of like Erewhon with the smoothies. And it's like there's horsehair or whatever the fuck they're putting in my Sabrina Carpenter drink or whatever for $25. But at the end of the day, all I taste is strawberries and cream.
Right. Also, I mean, I'm glad you brought up Erewhon because I was going to say the main thing that we have to immediately address at the head of this episode, 27 minutes in, is the wealth disparity for these things. It's like the way that people are trying to sell you wellness, but it's like only if you can afford these.
Yes.
Like the Goop shit is so expensive, but Erewhon is another example. Obviously, I mean, they sell $300 ice. You know, they sell $300.
What do you mean?
It's a specialty ice that they sell there. That's $300.
What is it going to massage my feet for $300?
I'm sure people buy it.
It's going to suck this hole for $300.
What did you say? Suck this hole.
I said clean this bowl.
And this is actually how me and Andrew's our conversations go behind the camera. Is exactly that. It's that level of gaslighting. So just keep that in mind. I mean, listen, like, I think it was Trixie who was like, don't waste your fucking money. Oh my God, it is name drop week. Don't spend your fucking money on something like Erewhon. Like, and it's true, obviously. And also, like, it's crazy to be able to waste your money on a $25 burrito at times like this, which I can't imagine what that burrito costs now with the price of eggs.
Oh, with the price of eggs, and these chickens are
because our bodega went up.
Doing well. Oh yeah, and they'll put signs about it.
Our bodega went up $1 per egg sandwich.
I know, and it's not looking good. And I'll tell you one thing: when you go to Trader Joe's and you're trying to get the eggs, they're barely even there. I know. People are clearing.
And
those eggs.
That's on bird flu.
That's on the bird flu. It's like, well, why do you think these birds are getting the flu?
Wellness.
Exactly. It's because they are kept in unwell conditions and they are packed in, and they're one person.
Is that why they're getting the flu?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe.
It could be. I mean, like,
I didn't know if you like had
flu travels fast, but that's the thing. One person got the flu. Think about this.
Oh, it's not going well globally, nationally right now. The bird flu is happening.
Oh, I know.
Are you aware?
I am aware, and I'm afraid I'm going to grow wings.
On it. The CDC is not able to report on it.
Why?
Why do you think?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what?
So you need to do your own independent research on what's happening, because we're not going to get reports on it, because who's in control of our fucking healthcare?
Toast. We are fucking toast without the eggs, you guys.
Like, yes.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we're toast without eggs.
We're toast without it. If this is going to be the theme of this episode, it's just going to be bread. It's like we are just bread at the end of the day. And where are our vessels? Like where are the?
We're bread, and we're being bread, and we're breadless.
Holy shit!
No money,
good
no
for
family.
Good for the people that don't have eggs.
What?
I mean, it's getting expensive out there. Good for the people.
Oh, you who don't eat eggs?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the
yeah.
vegans.
Like, yeah.
The vegans.
Okay. I thought you meant like people who were not in possession of eggs, and I was confused.
But I know what you mean. Like when it comes to the Erewhon, the breakfast burritos, though, I will say one thing.
Good.
That they do
it's
so
good.
Well. It's like, but Joe, is it not just the crispy onions in there?
Yeah, I know.
It's like you can do steak and eggs anywhere. Like you can make a breakfast burrito if you're putting crispy onions in it, which they are doing. They can charge $25, and it makes sense.
But it's like I don't think I could ever go back. I don't think I will ever voluntarily go back to Erewhon again, because clearly in my youth, the Goop of it all, like I do have a tendency to waste money on things like that I do not need, and I think I'm starting to really clock some tea. Tea's being clocked in a pretty serious way for me lately, and I'm like, I'm not stupid. I'm also not fucking rich. So these two things actually caused me to say I can no longer get an Erewhon steak and egg burrito for $25 that I could get for $12 elsewhere. But here's something I will say about
Please.
price, money, and wellness.
Please.
I was in Los Angeles last week, and I had a couple nights to order some food in. And I was on Uber Eats, which I want to stop using that app. I was on whatever. I was ordering food, and I saw, what's my wondering eyes? Goop Kitchen. No one had told me about this. No one called me up. No one wrote. No one DM'd.
And Gwyneth didn't even tell you.
Shockingly, and I've seen her a lot lately, and she didn't bring it up.
She didn't even bring it up.
That she has, and I think it's been going on for...
Gwyneth, we nominate you to dump a bucket on your head, or text Joe next time that you're going to start a new business.
Or ask Brad Falchuk to ask Brian Murphy to cast us in something. Goop Kitchen. I think it's been going on for years, or at least a longer time than I thought in LA. Let me tell you a few things about Goop Kitchen.
I need to know like everything on that menu.
I know I recorded a video of myself taking the food
Thank
out,
God.
but
Thank
so
God.
I can reference it. But I got there. I ordered my Goop Kitchen. I got, first of all, Chef Kim's famous miso soup. Delicious.
Who is Kim?
Who is Kim? Who is Kim? And
Kardashian?
I hope not. I
hope
sincerely
not either.
But it was delicious miso soup. It was so good. And I'm going to try and remember the prices of these things because it was interestingly priced. Like, the soup maybe was $8 to $11. And it was like, the soup was about this big.
Okay.
It was a pretty decent sized soup.
All right.
So it was like,
I mean, it's miso
like
soup.
City price. Miso soup, yeah. Like if you go to like an actual place, it's like
$3.50.
Yeah, right. So, but it is a bigger miso soup. But yeah, city prices. You're like, okay. I got. What did I get? I got a pizza, and I got this pizza thinking it'd be like a personal pizza because it was like $20. And I'm like, this is Gwyneth. This is Gwyneth. This is $20. Like, no way is this gonna be anything bigger than like a 10-inch pizza. Big.
You're kidding.
Big.
That's
could barely even eat half of it.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and I got, it was like pesto and like jalapeno, I think, or pepperoncini. Pesto and pep.
And tell the truth.
It was very good. And here's
what was the crust made out of?
And this is exactly what I was going to say. And this is where earlier the organic clean thing comes into play because Gwyneth labels everything as like it's all clean food, which is a made up term, like same as clean beauty. It's like, what does that actually mean? And so for her, the label, they remove all the bad ingredients, and there's no highly processed things. There's no refined sugars, things like that, which is great. Then she includes in that things that like are bad for you, all gluten. So everything's gluten-free in the entire restaurant. Peanuts out, no peanuts involved. And then there's one other thing that's like generally just fine, but it's like some people do have an allergy to it, and it's also included. So everything in this restaurant does not have any of those ingredients. So it was a gluten-free pizza.
Okay.
It was very good. I actually forgot it was gluten-free until I went onto the menu the next time I ordered it.
Xanthan gum in there?
What the fuck? Why would xanthan gum be in the gluten-free pizza?
I don't know. I just feel like whenever you're taking gluten out, you're doing something crazy. And they're putting something crazy in there, and it always starts with an X.
It doesn't sound very Gwyneth.
You're right.
But it was very good. I think it was $20. If you got that with you could just split that with 4 people. So think about that. That's pretty good.
That's $5 a person.
Yeah. Then I think I got one other food item.
Jesus.
Oh, no, I didn't. I got a side of aioli. And then I also got a brownie. Gluten-free, dairy-free fucking brownie.
I'll tell you one thing.
It was
you want to talk
delicious.
wellness? You don't need gluten in brownies.
No, you don't.
At all, because when I'm getting that flourless fucking shit, that flourless brownie, a flourless chocolate cake.
Better.
Oh,
better.
My God, it's so much better. What do you even put in
I want you to guess the price.
Total?
For the brownie. It was like this big.
Well,
the brownie was playing card size, doubled. For those listening at home,
Joe, I know that brownie's coming in at about $8.75.
It was $7.50.
Exactly. Of course it would be.
But I ordered all this. I ordered again the following 2 nights later, and I got a grilled chicken with rice and some salad and broccoli, garlic sauce. Guess how much that bowl was?
1775.
Yes. Well, yes. And I think that is comparatively to like a Sweet Green or like something in the city, the same price, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Sweet Green is coming. They're coming in close to 20.
So I was just surprised that Goop Kitchen wasn't necessarily trying to rob you blind in the way that like other parts of the wellness program are.
Well, I would say, and you know what, and this is
$7.50 for the brownie, robbing you blind.
This is no disrespect to Gwyneth Paltrow, unless I should have. But I will say, like, it's okay if she was to like cut the cost a little bit and and just like take a slight financial hit.
Well, I have to wonder. Okay. I also think like the ingredients are also high quality and sourced properly, hoping to God she pays her employees properly and stuff. And then maybe I'm like, maybe it is actually priced as it should be. Also, I mean, look at the cost of fucking food in general these days.
Oh, it's wild. It's wild. And but you know what? Back to your point with the pizza, and I'm thinking pizza and wellness and healthy eats and clean eats.
The cauliflower crust, fuck you.
But Joe, when it's done well, it could be crispy. It could be crispy. And all I think it takes is adding a little bit of Parmesan to the crust.
Of course, but then that becomes a whole other problem, doesn't it?
Well, because then the vegans are here. You know what I mean? And they're saying no Parmesan in that crust. And I get it. And like I'm like, no, take the Parmesan out of the crust. But if you want a crispy crust, that's like a little bit like, you know, when it's just like when you put it in the oven, you take it out and it's like bubbling.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just feel like you with a cauliflower crust, you were constantly running a risk. You know what I mean? It is not. You can't rest easy until you have that first bite.
No, because it's either like it could either get away with just being fine, that you're like, whoa, this is amazing, or it could just taste like shit. So it's either fine or taste like shit.
Yeah, which is it's never like the best thing you've ever had in your entire life.
And I'll say mental illness for us were those cauliflower thins from Trader Joe's.
And I think that's why I have a negative association with cauliflower crust now, because I was eating those cauliflower thins like they were cookies. Like they were actually like cakes.
It was
What were they even? What was I putting those on?
Joe, I honestly was making pesto eggs and putting the pesto
Oh, yes.
On, like almost like a taco.
Yes.
And it wasn't hitting the mark.
What about those other things? Oh, the egg white wraps?
Holy shit. They were like 3 calories.
Yeah. And
they were like air.
Wet pieces of paper.
And you're like,
made of eggs.
This is going to be my wrap today. Like, I'm going to be having an egg white wrap. No. It's like we can't cut corners. Okay, you guys, like we can eat well, but the cutting of the corners when it comes to those egg white wraps.
Some people might need those things for like allergies and stuff.
I never take into consideration allergies. I'm horrible with that. And all I think about, I probably shouldn't even say her name, but all I think about is in kindergarten. It's like that was hard. She had peanut allergy and I wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. I'm like, can you imagine? And I don't even think twice when
you wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
I wouldn't shut the fuck up about
you
it.
Wouldn't.
No.
Okay, I'm just confirming that I want. Okay.
No,
I thought you said she had a peanut allergy and wouldn't shut the fuck up
about
it. And I was like, that's
she
crazy.
was pretty quiet about it, but I wouldn't shut the fuck up about it because it was like, you know what? That just kind of affected everybody in the space, unfortunately, but we all needed to abide by like her allergy. And I
one
think
thing about you don't really abide by that though. Like you walk onto an airplane, you bust out peanuts as fast as you possibly could in any way, shape, or form.
Call me old fashioned, call me outdated, because I'll tell you one thing. I remember the days where they were giving me the smallest bag of peanuts I've ever seen on a plane, and that was the only thing. But you know what? Now we live in modern day society and everyone's allergic to something. I'm allergic. The last time I went to an allergist, they told me I'm allergic to grass. They told me I'm allergic to cockroaches. What do you even mean? What does a cockroach even do? But they have to be dead for me to be allergic to
commented, a listener commented recently about that and said, like, if you're allergic to cockroaches, you should avoid ground coffee because sometimes the cockroaches look like beans and then they like end up in coffee. And so you might be allergic to coffee.
I'm sorry. So
there's layers to
what
that
I just
one. There's layers to that one, right?
What I'm gathering is like I should stay away from coffee because I potentially am allergic to coffee, because there is a high probability that most of the coffee that I drink has a cockroach that got mixed up for a coffee bean, and they're just more often than not getting ground up in your beans.
It seems pretty improbable. It seems pretty fantastical to me, but I don't know. Sometimes I just blindly trust the comments we get sometimes. People come in like doctors. Often.
People wanna diagnose.
Yeah. Princess diagnose.
You want to diagnose us? That's not going to happen right
I
now.
actually think we should start calling our listeners Princess Diagnoses.
Our Princess Diagnoses. Diagnoses Pelosi's.
Hey, you guys, don't forget, for more good children, come to Patreon.
It's a lot of fun in there. We got the chats going on. People are sending their animals. People are making friends. There's meetups
in Seattle in a very serious way. There's meetups in Seattle happening.
No, it's
Seattle meetups are happening.
And I wish that meetup happens like when we had a live show there. But like next time we do, it's great. But you get some of the some news sooner on Patreon.
We react to some TV shows, react to some music. We talk about our lives, and we talk about sometimes history. Sometimes we do a little book reports.
There is nothing better than running into a patron.
Oh, of course not.
Oh, it's
kiss on the lips immediately.
Kiss?
Well,
let's not say that, but like definitely a hug.
A hug. Check the link in our bio for more. Outside of food, which seems to be a subject you and I simply can't avoid. What steps have you taken towards wellness?
Yoga. Once.
When? Okay, yeah.
Well, no, I will. Joe,
Vital.
When I was going to Vital.
Vital was the best. Speaking of wellness,
that was an amazing establishment, and I'll tell you one thing: the yoga classes were just fantastic. And when you have a gorgeous,
I went to a Haim themed class there.
I went to an
and they gave away.
Oh,
that's
tickets.
what I went to.
Yeah, Ali
was Ali and AJ, not Haim. Yeah,
Ali and AJ themed yoga class.
Yes.
I was actually turning out a crow's pose
I miss it.
For
oh my god,
Ali
yes.
and AJ tickets.
I miss yoga.
Yeah.
I guess I have a gym membership that I can go to yoga classes.
I'll tell you'll see me on schedule next week. Anyways, crazy. I'm a sick person, but I won't be teaching yoga. Anyways, yes, I did yoga, and I honestly did it for the mindfulness component. It was harder than I thought it was actually going to be, because I was showing up being like, oh, I do fitness, like I'm going to do yoga, and then suddenly my leg is in a position I never thought was even possible. But it was nice to hear somebody on the other side being like, close your eyes. And then that
was it Benton McClintock?
Close your eyes. No. The yoga took me into the Calm app for a bit. But this is the problem with that app. Shit.
Paid subscription.
Also, Calm, if you need anybody to do a voiceover, I can do that shit. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. What about you give us Calm?
Hold on.
No, I understand that, but you think it's a strange brand association?
Close your eyes. So you think that they have to be like wellness people that are doing that?
Well, I think like Harry Styles has done one, I'm pretty sure. Like,
okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't necessarily have the same neurotic energy that you possess.
But this is the thing. Don't you think for those neurotic people that see a neurotic person who's doing the Calm app, like, wouldn't you feel more inclined to choose that? Like, we're all in this together.
Honestly, I don't want to actually negate your dream here,
okay.
Because I'd like to see I would love to know what Calm's feedback is on you, because if they say yes, that's amazing. I'm imagining myself as a Calm casting director right now.
Let's try this out.
So, hi Andrew, thank you for coming in today. Actually, sorry. Hello Andrew, thank you for coming in today.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you, Stephanie.
Yeah, it's great to meet you, Andrew. We are so excited by the prospect of you doing a few voiceovers for us, but we definitely have some questions for you.
Absolutely. Where should we begin?
So, first of all, I would like you to just share with me your relationship with meditation.
So, it's actually really interesting. So I grew up like not very calm. I'm actually pretty stressed and high-strung person if you were to ask people. I think
high cortisol.
High cortisol? Yes.
I could see that.
Yeah, red in the face, right, correct. But over the years, I have been able to tune into my body and my mind and say, I need to take a second. And I see a lot of people, especially being in the city, the Big Apple. It's tough when you see people walking out of their apartment and they're high strung and they're stressed, but you have to just say, take a step back. So once I learned that, I started getting into yoga. I started hearing from others and taking in their experiences and what they do, and kind of just like figured out what made me feel good. And to me, that was mindfulness.
So exactly how do you practice it? That sounds wonderful, by the way. But
yeah.
I just would like to know what sort of routine do you have for mindfulness?
So every morning I close my eyes after I wake up.
So,
of course.
Open eyes, close eyes.
Close eyes. And I do some deep breathing, and feel free, if you ever wanted to join with me, you can do that as well. I do some deep breathing exercises before I even step out of the bed, because I think that grounds me. All right, when I feel like something is not going my way, if I'm feeling like it's a pretty stressful environment, I take a step back. I say, ground yourself. Affirmations have been really helpful.
And you practice those often?
Mm-hmm.
How frequently would you say on a weekly basis do you do affirmations?
I would say I try to do them daily.
Okay, and how frequently do you actually do them?
Twice a week. Wow.
And are you being completely candid with me, completely honest? With everything you've said thus far? Because I'm sensing, because as someone who practices mindfulness and someone who works with the Calm app, I actually feel like I'm pretty good at picking up frequencies, and you do have an extremely stressed energy right now, and that's usually a huge red flag for some people working for our company.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely
I'm just Stephanie, so what do I know? But...
Yeah, well, no, Stephanie, don't just say that. You are Stephanie, okay? And I don't like, to me, I hear somebody who is like putting themselves down, and you recognize your place at the Calm app.
Yeah, I know. I'm hiring manager, so yes.
You're doing amazing work, Stephanie. Am I lying to you? Not willingly. Not willingly.
And what exactly would that mean?
That means that sometimes, Stephanie, the words that we say, the things that we do, they have foundational truth.
Yeah. And can you explain what foundational truth means?
I thought we were here for the Calm app.
And I'm just asking you to clarify your answers, because I'm not exactly following anything you've said this far.
I follow the principle of foundational truth.
Yeah, I asked you to explain what that means.
Yeah, so it's a pretty modern principle. I'm forgetting the person who established this.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, it's just speaking from the heart. So what I've been doing with you right now, Stephanie, is like speaking from the heart.
Right. Okay. So just to cut you off right there, I also have taken the liberty of just scrolling your social media, because that's something that we do always when we're hiring. And something about the sort of content I've seen you share, in particular as of late, it doesn't exactly read as calming or emotionally nourishing. It seems high energy.
Overstimulating.
Well, that's stimulating for a certain, and that's not a bad thing at all. But for the Calm app, it just seems quite contradictory to our purpose and our message here.
I think it would be remiss of the Calm app to, discredit somebody for having duality.
Of course.
And I think that like there are different things that work for different platforms. And when it comes to social media, what I've learned is a lot of the times when you are high energy, people respond well to that. On a different platform like the Calm app, that's a resource for people to take a step.
But you see, our issue here is there's a contradiction. There's an inauthenticity that I'm picking up here right now from you, because we have plenty of influencers who do yoga, and we have yoga with Adrian. We have people who are their main purpose on the internet and on social media is to put forth a mindfulness message. And to have someone like you who would appear on that app as so calm and so purposeful and what was it, leading with foundational truth, and then for one of our the users on the app to then search you up, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, and see something that is so radically
different,
jarring, intense from what you've presented yourself on the app. It just would feel like an inauthentic truth. In some ways.
Wow. Okay. You know what? What I'm gathering here, Stephanie, is it doesn't sound like it's the right fit.
I completely agree, actually.
And I appreciate your time and your willingness to hear me out. I do think this is a huge loss. I'm not going to say for which party, but I do think it's a loss. And I'm going to continue to lead in faith, in foundational truth, and continue to prosper. And I hope the same for you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And I hope you never talk down about yourself ever again.
Thank you. And I hope that you find peace. And also Sour Patch Kids is next door hiring if you're looking for something like that. Seems more maybe your vibe.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, so I don't think I would. Looking back on that interview, I don't think I would land a spot.
But who knows if Stephanie's your hiring manager? Maybe it's someone else.
Yeah, it could be one of our listeners.
Yeah,
they could say, "Wow, I actually work for Calm, and I think you would be great."
Yeah, who knows? And that would be interesting.
That would be really.
I'd be pretty surprised.
It would be really surprising. But you know what?
Do you think people leave this podcast feeling calm?
I think, well, it depends on what speed they, because I'm like shocked when I hear that people are listening like 1.75. Like I can't imagine because it's like actually so crazy. It's like if you're gonna listen to me at 1.75, like I can't imagine what your day is gonna look like after that, or if you're at the literal office and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna be drinking coffee. My boss is literally standing right behind me, and I'm listening to these two gays speak at 1.75 when they already speak at 1.75. Like that's insane. That's insane.
So what other attempts at wellness have you taken in your life?
Besides the spas.
Oh my god.
A massage.
I'm getting very listen, it's no surprise, it's no shock, it's no grand reveal. I'm getting very into saunas.
Well, I'm not, and I'm sure you're in the sauna and you're practicing some mindfulness.
I am.
Pretty full over there.
No, I'm not cruising in a sauna.
Yet.
And what if I was?
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
I just to you, is that mindfulness? I guess a release is necessary sometimes for mindfulness. Clarity. PNC.
What?
The PNC. Post-nut clarity.
It's just like, I wasn't even actually discussing that, and now it just feels like it's come back to that.
Stephanie?
I actually was just thinking, I really do think I should just start speaking in a British accent. Because I think I'm more easily understood and I speak clear and more definitively.
I think you've said this before. I think that like it's weird that you haven't just stuck with it because it's like, I mean, and I think that
wouldn't that actually be amazing for the podcast?
I'll be so serious. I think sometimes like we do this podcast and like people don't even know we're from Long Island. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's so fine if 2.5 years in you just started speaking with a British accent,
exactly,
and then completely changed the narrative that like you lived on a farm.
Yeah, who cares? In Manchester.
Exactly. Yeah. And we just so happened to meet at the Hard Rock Hotel pool in Florida.
Exactly.
When your family was on their 1 month vacation.
Yes, we were just on holiday. On holiday at the Hard Rock Hotel pool.
That's, to me, that feels good.
And that's exactly what happened. But anyway, I do enjoy a sauna. And I used to not understand it. You and I think, did we go to a sauna together?
Mm-hmm.
Was it it was your first sauna?
One of my first saunas.
Oh, it was at Bathhouse.
Yeah.
And you were choking, freaking out, couldn't breathe. And we both were like, how could you spend time in this? I've gotten to the point where I could spend a pretty long period of time in a steam room.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really, really feel peace and pleasure from it.
Well, to me, it's like, I feel peace and pleasure, but it's like, I have no other option. You know what I mean? I'm peeing in the sauna because it's like I have literally no option. It's like you're there, so like might as well sit there for 30 minutes because what else am I gonna do? Go to the steam room and feel the same thing?
Yeah.
But then by the end of it, you feel really good. You feel dehydrated.
Well, I'm chugging. I'm chugging and I'm sipping as best as I possibly could when I do have access to water. What's that face?
Do you like being touched? Like massage.
Okay, so I actually need to book a massage tomorrow. Like I actually like literally feel like my body is decaying and withering away like an old crone. But I don't like being touched that much. Mm-hmm. I especially like, I don't like when they touch my feet. I hate when my feet are touched. It freaks me the fuck out. I enjoy like when someone, like if someone really got to work on my shoulders, I'd be really thrilled.
Yeah.
But
I need a Carlos Solis for these shoulders.
Yes, you do. And you know I love being touched otherwise. I'm getting scrubs left and right.
Yeah.
I'm getting a scrub at any place that gives me any opportunity to lay naked on a slab of something and have a stranger scrub my body. I am saying yes to 100%.
That scares me. The scrub scares me because I don't know what I'll shed. I don't know what I'd shed.
What do you mean? Like, what are you trying to even insinuate?
No, I'm not even trying to insinuate anything. I just feel like if they're really scrubbing that hard, something would go wrong.
They're not like scrubbing so hard.
Like, I wouldn't start bleeding.
No. The pustules?
No, I don't have pustules on my back, but like the occasional pimple, like I don't think that would feel good for me.
Maybe it would help.
You know,
maybe it would help. It would exfoliate your back. It would open up those pores.
You're right. I'd get scrubbed.
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
Why do you say I love it? You've never. It's like it's so crazy.
Massages, though, it's like I do like a massage, but I really can recognize like I won't be able to get a massage again until I can speak up for myself. Because I put myself sometimes in situations where I shouldn't be. Like, and they're going so hard on my back and I'm not saying anything.
You're 38 right now. When are you planning on speaking up for yourself? At what point? What age do you think you're going to say, I'm going to start speaking up for myself?
Hopefully by 40. Hopefully. Because, you know, enough is enough. If they're going deep, I tell them I can't do deep tissue. I have back trauma.
What back trauma do you have?
Joe, I have back trauma.
What is it?
I hold a lot of my stress and my trauma in my back.
Do you?
Yes.
Who told you that?
Remember when I used to have spasms? You remember that era for me?
Don't you get them every day? Now that's just chest pain.
That's just chest pains, Joe.
Sharpshooting chest pain.
That's sharpshooting chest pains. That's not normal. And to our princess diagnoses out there,
don't let us know.
Even let me know what I'm in for. Because sometimes ignorance is bliss. And if I was to tap out,
would you be happy? Like,
I mean, if I was dead.
But I'm saying, like, I'm just saying, like, if everything ended today, would you feel content with how you lived your life?
You know what? Yeah, I would, because it's like, I think I've experienced a lot. And to Veronica Johnson out there from 6th grade art, she told me I would have a lot of luck.
A lot of love.
A lot of love and a really short life. And I would say,
and that was
just from my palm when she read my palm. So but I do believe she said, like, again, it was like late 20s. So, and I'm there, but I would say I had a lot of luck. This podcast was like a little bit of a strike of luck. I would say that I had a lot of love, listeners, family, friends. I think I had a lot of love.
Yeah.
So the third option is just a short life.
You wouldn't change anything. Like, if like I'm like so now we're gonna do. I mean, it's like we're like an hour into the podcast, and we have shit to do. So I'm gonna make this quick. But if you were to die tomorrow,
okay.
Hey Andrew.
Hey Stephanie.
I'm actually the Grim Reaper. You're dying. You died.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you a year back of your life. You're going to start back a year from today.
Okay.
Yes, so a year back, and I want you to live your life exactly as you'd want to, knowing that you'd have 1 year left. How would you change the things you've done? Or would you?
I don't know if I would. I think I'd move.
Where?
I think I'd go back to Australia.
Yeah.
I think I might want to relive that abroad experience again, because I was away. I might have been away, but I was really stuck. You know, I don't think I lived the way I would have liked to live there.
And that's just Australia, or you think that's
I would have wanted to cut the constrictive tank off my body.
Right.
I would have. Sorry, Jesse. I'm obsessed.
Well,
with
you're only going back 1 year, so don't worry. So this Jesse's married at this point.
She's done, and I think that I would go back to Australia. I would live the way that I would want to live for that past year, knowing that my end was near.
And what would you do?
Suck a few Australian dicks. I probably would like do a lot of like nature.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely be doing hikes more. I would definitely be throwing myself out of more planes, and I definitely would get a lot of adrenaline. I would be an adrenaline junkie for a year. I think I would.
Why don't you do that now?
Suck dick and
and go in nature and move to Australia.
It's hard, Joe. It's hard. I feel very stuck.
Why?
I feel stuck because we're here in the city. We're here in the city.
What I'm saying
life goes on.
Maybe that's the problem.
That I'm here in the city.
Well, I'm just saying. If you're saying if you could do it all over the past year of your life, you would move to Australia. Well, Australia, I understand that's a crazy move, but you would move to Australia, be out in nature, suck more dick, do more things that fill you with adrenaline. What if you die tomorrow? We're not guaranteed the next year of our lives.
This episode is anything but mindful. my brain is gonna be spiraling out.
No, don't spiral.
Okay, you're
I
right.
want you to literally like don't freak. I'm just saying, like, I think that if this is your one life, do what you can do to make yourself happy while you can do it.
Focaccia at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
A focaccia at 9:30 in the morning. A little fitness class, and then, yeah, going to the beach, jumping out of a plane.
Like, I think that you should do more things for yourself.
I want to travel, you guys, so bad. Cost? You want to talk cost restrictive?
Yeah, I know.
Things like I would travel every week if I could. Well, I could. No, I couldn't. I could travel every week if I actually really wanted to.
It would have to like get out of the apartment and
Yeah.
then just do the pod remote.
Yeah. Which
Probably would actually save money than paying this rent.
I can't wait for our nomad life. I'm gonna get my massage therapy degree.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a goal now.
I think that like if all else fails, I can be a really good masseuse. I know the spots because trust me, these hands can work magic and they can go deep. And I know how to use this elbow because you know those masseuses are using their elbows in a shocking way. And then sometimes you're like, is that your knee? Is that your knee? And then it's their feet. That's when you go radio silent. That's when you say, are they stomping on my back right now? Are they about to, how are they going to get off my back? And then they slide off your back and they straddle your head. It's never happened to you.
So I was just saying, like, I think that you should try and spend more time doing things that make you happy.
Yeah.
And
I
fill
agree.
you with peace and make you grounded in reality. And I'm trying to do that right now. I feel like that was me going to the museum alone, going to Wee Spa alone.
What
Like,
sign are you again?
I'm a Leo.
What is that considered? I'm trying to think about, like, is that a fire, an air, or water?
I'm a fire sign.
You're fire. What would that mean? Like, because I'm triple earth, so I feel like
Grounded.
and I want nature, and I realize that that's what I've been like. Actually, I feel good there when I'm doing things like that. What would be your, like, what's fiery?
Well, I don't know. I'm a Pisces moon and a Libra rising. My Pisces moon is water, obviously.
water.
And then Libra is, I think, air. So it's a little bit of everything. So I feel like that might not really constitute. For me, I really enjoy peace and quiet. You know, I really do. And being naked. I actually am like, just like, I'm officially a nudist. Like, like, there's a feeling I get when I'm naked when I'm like, oh my God, why am I not always naked? Like, it is such a crazy feeling.
Well, that's probably what happens when you were so clothed your whole life.
Yeah.
Now it's freeing to just take it all off.
It is such a, and I was thinking that as I was walking around Wee Spot, I was like, there's like an 80% chance I know someone here. 80 to 90% chance I know somebody here or they know me.
Oh, absolutely.
And I am just no towel. No
No.
towels even near my person, walking around like I own the place.
Mm-hmm.
But it is like that, like, I don't know. I just think that we are all facing doom and destruction.
Oh God.
And we're all so caught up in what we should be doing and what we think we have to do. And while we're here, while we have the opportunities to, especially if we have the opportunity to, I think it's horrible that a lot of people don't. People have like family members to take care of and bills to pay that like they cannot possibly even imagine like living a life that is like sovereign for themselves. But if you have any opportunity to find those moments of sovereignty in your life, to take those moments, even if it's something so small, even if it's having a focaccia for breakfast, like grab that moment because it doesn't need to be a $25 burrito or a $16,000 mental health retreat. Like it could just be these little things that remind you, like, I'm a fucking person. Yeah. I'm a person.
I'm a person with
and
a
I'm
mind.
lucky to be alive.
I'm lucky to be. That is, it does come down to it. Like, you need to recognize, and I've been doing it lately. I was crying on the subway the other day.
Oh, jeez.
By the way, this was great. It was Valentine's Day.
Oh, no.
I was crying on the subway Because I was like, you know what? Like, but it wasn't a sad cry. It was like, I was grateful, but then I was also seeing this 8-year-old child with his mother, and like, he was just like resting his head on her chest, and then would look at her, and then like hug her, and I was like, it is so crazy. Like, we are aging, and it's so easy for us to be like, oh my God, I wish I had more, or like, I'm stressed, or I can't believe I'm doing this and all that stuff. But then I looked at that kid with his mom, and I was like, that was, for the most part, a lot of us. And like, I have lost sight completely of what it feels like to, I don't know, it's not even be a kid, but like, he didn't seem to really have that many cares in the world.
Well, yeah.
And that's what's nice about being a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you're not jaded. You're not like, and you practice, you like do things that make you happy.
And you are like, even as a kid, I mean, for the most part, I think a lot of the media you consume and the songs you hear and the words you say to yourself are overwhelming. Are you about to start crying?
No.
Okay. Are overwhelmingly positive and
Yes.
they're all affirmations. Even if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like literally being like, I'm happy and I know
No
it.
way.
I'm recognizing that I'm happy.
Yeah.
So we should all try to clap our hands. No
And
shade.
No shade. Like, clap your hands if you're happy and you know it.
Oh, you
It was
almost
a lot.
clapped.
It was a lot of silence coming from our end. A lot of silence.
No,
but
it's just weird. It's just weird.
I guess it is just weird.
And as I was saying, I think it was either this episode or the Patreon. I think it was this episode about Pompeii and everything. It's like,
it was this episode,
and
shockingly.
unfortunately, to quote Father John Misty, in no time at all, this will be the distant past. In no time at all, this will be the distant past.
Can we say that one more time?
In no time. It's not necessarily a positive statement. In no time at all, this will be the distant past. It will be. So fucking do whatever the fuck you want.
I'm
That's how
over
you-
this shit,
Be
Joe.
well. Be well.
Be well.
Like literally,
I'm going, I'm over this shit, Joe. Be
you
well.
walk out of the room.
Do whatever the fuck makes you happy.
Yeah, and don't
give
let other people impact it.
No.
Do not.
No, don't let other people dictate what you can do. Don't let other people tell you who you can be friends with. Don't let other people tell you if you're misaligned. Don't let that happen. You know you. You know you. And it might take a really long time for you to figure out who you are, because it's still happening for me, but I'm getting close. And that's exciting.
I think it's your whole life.
It's your
the
whole
thing.
life.
Yeah.
But you know what you always have?
Yourself.
And your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So you can let it wander. Don't get me wrong. You can let it wander. But let's wander to the good place.
Yeah.
You know?
That's on affirmations, truly.
Yeah.
I just like, you're so used to being negative about yourself. We're all so used to being so negative 24/7, and like just the narrative in your head is to always talk shit about yourself. And it's like the more and more, it's like the more you remind yourself, I am confident, I am smart, I am pretty, I am intelligent. Like the more and more you say that to yourself, the more your brain will be reminded to go in that direction.
Yeah.
And like that is life-changing work. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. I don't
My
feel good.
mind and me, we don't get along sometimes, and it gets hard to breathe. Even though we lost my mind. Did you hear her song with Benny Blanco?
I haven't heard it yet.
It's cute. It's gonna make you cry. It's gonna ruin your day.
But excited for Demi Lovato soon.
Demi Lovato soon.
Demi Lovato, guys, so soon.
I'm tired of rumors starting. I'm starving.
Joe, I am starving. I would say my rumor this week is giving yourself grace. Giving yourself a little bit more grace. I think that I'm always really hard on myself when it comes to the things that I'm putting in my body. And yeah, rightfully so sometimes. But to bring it back to focaccia at 9:30 in the morning, like if that is what fills your cup for that moment, that's what fills your cup for the moment. And get the fucking focaccia. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Get the fucking focaccia. And if you're gonna suffer the consequences afterwards, like you know that you're putting your body through that. But like
let me deep bloat.
Let me deep bloat. And all you need sometimes is to pop in a lemony bloat after a focaccia at 9:30, and I'm at equilibrium. What about you? What's your Roomba?
I think my Roomba this week is what I talked about on Patreon. It's the brick. So you guys know I love Opal. I love my social media blocker, Opal. But you know who posted about this a long time ago was Lord. And I remember I screenshotted it. And finally I got around to ordering one. And it's a little physical brick that you can keep in your home. And you set up an app blocker on it. And when you tap your phone to the brick, it locks every app that you have to lock. And the only way to unlock your phone is to tap your phone to the brick. So say, for example, you're going to the Metropolitan Museum of Art alone for the day. And you don't want to scroll. You tap your phone to the brick. You go out. There is no world where you're unlocking that damn phone. And there's a little timer that stays in real time on your phone. So I'm like, okay, it's been 18 hours of no social media. And then whenever you want to unlock it, you tap that brick. And I just feel it right now. It's next to my door. I haven't unlocked yet. And I can feel when my days are better because I'm on social media less. And I don't want to get too into that because I have our schedule to talk about internet next week. And it's probably going to get bleaker. But I just think we should all try to be less online. I really do. And I really worry and pray for all of you.
I pray for everybody.
So I think that a brick is a great option. It's just a good way. It's like an easy physical way of being like, I'm offline right now versus like a screen time app.
That's a really great way to view socials. And Joe, thank you for saying that because I want to get back to praying. I want to pray like Kesha prayed. I really do.
Well, I feel like when I'm doing my gratitudes at night, it's like it kind of reminds me of praying as a kid. Because I used to be like, dear God, please make sure you protect. And I would name every person I loved. And so now when I'm in bed at night and naming the people I love for being grateful, I'm it's literally the exact same thing I was doing as a kid. And it used to soothe me as a kid and it soothes me as an adult.
You want to talk mindfulness? You want to end this on a high note? Let's start tuning into spirituality. That's spiritual, what you're doing. The affirmations.
Yeah.
And because you're grateful and you're feeling, that's why people like religion. That's why people like spirituality is because it's a calming factor that you're I'm putting this out there. And I am praying for people.
Keeping those things in your head, yeah.
I pray for all of you. I do. Oh,
my
and me, we don't get along sometimes, and it gets
well, you guys,
hard to breathe.
Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Good Children.
You know what to do. Don't forget to do your homework. Comment, subscribe, rate, and review, and please. We are almost past 10,000 5-star reviews on Spotify. That's crazy. So it's let's do what we did that one time when we got 18 billion reviews. Let's start sending it to people. If you have not reviewed us yet on Spotify, click those 3 stars and just click rate show 5. And if you have anything else, any other star amount that you would want to give us that was lower than 5, maybe check in with yourself and let's practice mindfulness. Let's do something let's do a 30-minute meditation and then come back to the review.
And then think about it.
Yeah. And don't forget Apple Podcasts too. Write a little something sweet. We like to see them. We do. As long as they're sweet. Okay. And you know where to find us across all social media platforms at Good Children Pod. I'm on Instagram at Andrew Muscarella, on TikTok at Andrew_Muskie. I'm back, baby.
I'm on Instagram at Joe Hegyes and on TikTok at Be Quiet Joe.
And don't forget we have a Patreon. Every single Thursday an episode goes live.
8 p.m. EST, brand new episode.
$7 a month.
And I'm happy, clap along
if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
I'm sorry, that song is just if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
That's shocking.
I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. It's just if you're happy and you know it.
Can someone... Pharrell, if you're watching this, we want you to pour an ice bucket on your head or